So when there's something that's repressed within us that we don't consciously or we don't unconsciously, well, we don't want to face it and therefore it becomes unconscious. We assume that it's going to be this big difficult thing to face when it actually comes to it. And this is a misconception because I've had experience of actually facing the thing, and really it's just like an inner realization, an actual soul level understanding that you come to. Um, so it's not like this huge trial and tribulation to actually get to the root of the issue. It's more of a you are going through the tribulations in order to remove that which is trying to prevent it, maybe as a survival mechanism. But it's not usually difficult to actually do the thing. And it's not really doing, it's just being. You embody what you've been trying to avoid about yourself for so long. So, for instance, something like an insecurity, like I'm insecure about how I have no friends, or something like that. Um, that's just an example. But if you uh, experience that insecurity while you're not aware of it, it means it's unconscious, which is kind of the typical state of most insecurities in their infantile state. They're not known to the individual consciously. So it's going to cause havoc in your life without you realizing it. And you're going to just, if you're the average person, blame the world about why the, these things are the way they are. And you may or may not try to make a difference, maybe by doing something or whatever. But if you were to just come to the realization that, okay, I'm insecure about not having friends, and that's why I end up putting myself into these situations where I'm always changing myself to please others, and that just causes a huge amount of energy to be expended on wasteful endeavors, which I could be using for something else. And because I'm trying to do everything at once, I'm making myself more stressed out and giving myself less time to recover, and therefore I'm getting depressed about it, like that. That's just one example. But then you finally get to the root of the issue. Okay, I'm just insecure that I have no friends. And like thinking that is one thing, but knowing it is a whole other thing. And sometimes you can't really change when you know, because knowing is kind of a spiritual thing, and anything spiritual is beyond the will of the mind. So it's something that you are, it's not something that you do, really. It's something that you've always been, but that's been clouded up by conditioning, years of it. And a lot of the things that I talk about in these videos kind of have a lot in common with regard to that, about knowing versus thinking, and thinking that you know it. The mind cannot really grab the reins and drive the soul somewhere to some conclusion by itself. It has to be the other way around. It's more so the soul using the mind, but then the mind has to be dispatched when something too great for its abilities comes up. So the point of this video again, knowing something, figuring out, it's not really the difficult part. It's like the the truth isn't always painful. It's just the truth, and sometimes the truth can actually be relieving. For instance, I used to be insecure about not working hard enough until I realized I'm actually literally pushing myself to a point where I have to stop because I am working too hard. So that's feedback from the world itself that I am literally working too hard. And of course, there was an insecurity about my own self worth, which is a very deep umbrella insecurity for a lot of other insecurities, generally in individuals, but especially in my case. But discovering that was not as painful as the unconscious effects of that it was wreaking when I had my back turned to it. So, yeah, it's a pretty simple concept. Now, with watching these videos, you may or may not understand it, but um, the only thing that I can really do is confirm whatever experience you've already had. Um, so, if you have not gotten any step into your spiritual journey, this video might be a waste of time, because I can't drill it into you. You have to experience it for yourself, okay? You have to go through the tribulations yourself, and you have to remember, well, you don't have to remember, but you probably remember, oh, there's this guy talking about this thing, and that kind of makes sense now. Okay, like that's kind of the only real reason. Or if you're kind of verging a breakthrough, I'm just there to kind of nudge you forward a little bit. Um, so yeah, that's everything. I don't really need to extend it much further than that. It's a very simple message. What a lot of messages are simple. Just figuring it out. It's not painful, but what's preventing you from doing it? Like you were causing this pain to yourself. Like you were not really transcending the mind at speed that is quick enough. Anyway, I'll talk more about it in other videos. I recommend that you check them out because I'm recording and uploading some videos that kind of just come to my mind, but I've accumulated a lot of knowledge over the years of my own spiritual progress, and I've went through a lot of tough times, and I think that I'm definitely making some real good progress, and I'm pretty happy now in my life. So yeah, thanks for watching.